going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of BAQueduct Energy. I'm your host, Ryan. As usual, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jackson and Kaylie. Jackson is currently chilling in the car as he's making this work in between work. It might be a little loud in his background, so Kaylie will check in with you first. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Beautiful day outside. Should get some really nice weather in New York this weekend for a change, so pretty excited about that. For racing and just in general, it's been like raining here nonstop. So, yeah, pretty good day and week this week.
That'll be nice. Yeah, I hope the weather is nice. Jackson, it's pretty hot in Southern California. It's about 85 degrees here. I don't know what it is up by you. You're up kind of close to Santa Anita, but how's your day going?
It's going good. It's about 95. It's hot. I'm in the car with the doors closed, but you know what? We got to get that good sound. So hopefully everything cooperates because I don't know if you guys can hear my computer right now. The fan is not happy.
Nah, we can hear you loud and clear. Jackson's going to be a little washed out by the end of the show, but that's all right.
I'm going to be all red.
It's okay. You power through it. Yeah. We trust you. You power through it. Thanks for making it happen. We are going to be going through the late pick 5 Belmont at Aqueduct Saturday, June 21st. Late pick 5. It looked pretty good. We have some different structured tickets, but we all have the same single. So the old the curse has to be broken because I think we all very much like this runner. Jackson, let me get your thoughts real quick. What were your thoughts on the sequence before we dive into it?
I actually like it quite a bit. Very excited for it. I was not expecting to, and I was going through all the races and like, you know what, this looks like a pick 5 I really want to play. I think there's a couple of favorites you can try to lean on and a couple of favorites you really want to try to beat. So when you have that, it's one I can play pretty aggressively and not have to spend that much money doing it. So I'm pretty excited for this Saturday sequence. What up, Matt?
There we go.
I did try to do it in the office a minute ago, and Ryan can attest this. It was just too damn loud. It wasn't going to work.
It was a little loud. Yeah. Kaylie, what were your thoughts on the sequence?
Similar. I thought that there were a couple of legs. I mean, I singled in 2 of the legs. I think, honestly, if I want to put together like a cheaper ticket day of, I can even find another single. I thought that the maiden claiming races were pretty wide open as they usually are, but there's a really interesting one I like in the last race. But yeah, I singled in 2 legs, was able to spread in those other ones that were a little trickier, and was able to beat some favorites in those too. So
I like it.
It's a pretty fun sequence to play.
I definitely think it's a fun one. We all have at least 2 singles in our ticket. I have 3. Jackson and Kaylie both with 2. I like it. I'm ready to get on into it. So I'll throw the past performances up on the screen here, and then as usual, we'll just show our pick 5 tickets as we go through it. I'll throw it up for the first leg. I used the coupled entry along with the 3. Jackson singled the 6. Kaylie went 3, 5, 6. So Kaylie, we're going to start with you, and I'll actually start with the number 5. Oh, wherever I find that one, Corvus. What did you like about this runner?
Well, the one just to start, I guess the 1 and the 1A are really, it doesn't show that there's much speed on paper here. So the 1's going to look a little tricky, the coupled entry. But I mean, the 6 to the far outside is, I viewed as probably one the post draw there, and it's going to be able to soften, that coupled entry up a little bit. So I tried to play against those 2 here. I went with the 5 as one of the horses I used. Although the horse is likely to come from off the pace, he is able to sit a little bit closer when the pace isn't so hot. Ran a good race last time out. Ran a career best Spire of a 73 there against Older. Sat close to the pace, kind of just ran in a straight line. But I think cutting back in distance and getting first-time Lasix made this one a little bit interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at those running lines going back, he's certainly faced some of the best horses. And to Matt's point, Matt had a funny comment in here. He thought it was just the 4 of us. I think there is only one person on YouTube, but we have about 100 people watching, most of them on X. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So, Matt, it's not just the 4 of us, as much as I would still appreciate just your company. We do have a good group of people in here. That's number 5, Corvus, a horse that Kaylie is going to have on her ticket. Another one is the number 6, which, Kaylie, I want your thoughts as well. But, Jackson, this is your single to start us off. So I got to turn to you first. What do you like most about this runner?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best not to make fun of you for your ticket construction on this one. 6 horse in this race. 6 horse, I think, might be able to get the lead in here. There's really not a lot of speed. I know the 1 is quick from the rail. Hasn't run in over, 10 months now, 11 months. So not necessarily, has to make the lead from there. And Kaylie mentioned it too. Deer Chairman kind of won the post draw, so this horse comes out of the gates running, gets to the front end, can take this field a long way. And even if the one does go to the front, there's not other speeding there. He can just park himself on the outside and just get into a nice little groove, and we'll see what he's got in the lane. Obviously, the race 2 back makes him awfully competitive. That was a big effort that day. Had things his own way, but he might get things his own way in this spot too. The no Lasix last time I can forgive. His 2 races with Lasix are pretty good, even the race 2 back where he had some trouble getting his ideal trip. So he feels like the improving type. I don't really need the entry. The 3 Toscano, I guess his 2 best races by far came in off the turf affairs. Don't really love that necessarily. So I just felt like taking a stand here. I feel like this is a good race. Take a stand against the 2 horses that don't take a lot of money. And, as always, if you're wrong in this first leg with a single, just come back and play the pick 4 or play something else later. So not too big a deal. Going to be aggressive.
Yeah, no, I used the 3 Toscano as well. Kaylie, anything to add on the number 6 Deer Chairman?
Yeah, the 6 obviously is going to run back the same distance as he broke his maiden at. I thought, if you can repeat, just like Jackson just said, if you can repeat that effort, I think he's the horse to beat. Gets Lasix back. And also in that maiden race, the horse that he completely dusted, that horse Palace Boss, and that horse broke his maiden next time out. And then he won an allowance race after that as well with an 81. So it seemed like he was facing decent horses that day as well.
He was. Palace Boss is a common running line or running mate, I guess, to Deer Chairman and Corvus, who just lost to Palace Boss last time out in that allowance race. Jackson, I was going to question what you meant by roasting me for my ticket construction, and then I realized that I have the morning lines up, and now I see the issue that you would have. I don't handicap with the morning lines. I take them away, so I did not know that I picked 2 very short prices to use in the first leg, but that is what it is. The straight 1 is my first choice in here, as this one has fired off the layoff before. I know this one's coming off a bit, almost a year at this point, but fires fresh, as you can see from the February 14th effort of last year. Came in off the bench at Parks and won that effort. So I'm just hoping we get something similar. There doesn't look to be a whole lot of early speed. I know the 6 from the outside can also be forward. So I'm hoping Kendrick is just uber aggressive out of the gate, sends really hard as he loves to do. And hopefully this one can get clear on the lead and hold on. Coming back, going the mile distance versus company is certainly not an easy task, but I like the way this horse runs. So I'm hoping that this one just can fire fresh. And going the 1 turn mile as opposed to the 2 turns that this one is pretty used to going a mile 70, a mile and a 16th. I'm hoping the mile maybe is a nice starting off distance for him. So I'll use the 1, and then I'll also use the 3. Again, Jackson, yeah, you can roast me for that. Those are 2 short prices to be using in conjunction with each other. So that's the first leg. I went with the coupled entry in the 3. Jackson singling the 6. Kaylie went 3, 5, 6. We'll move on to the second leg. We're going a mile, 35,000 non-2 light. Go ahead, Jackson.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Sorry. All right, we're going a mile on the turf, 35,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. Jackson, tickets are up. You went 3, 4, 5. I singled the 3. Kaylie went 3, 7, 9, 11, and 12. So we're actually going to start from the outside. We'll work our way down. We'll start with the 12. Kaylie, Toxic Girl, we'll go to you. This one's trying the turf for the first time after an off-the-turf effort last out.
Yeah, this one's going to be trying the turf for the first time. The dam is all turf. Was entered, I think, in a race that was taken off the turf last time out. So definitely the spot that they want this horse to be in. They've been meaning to have her in. She stacks up nicely. If you factor in maybe a little perk up in the buyer speed figures, getting to try the turf for the first time. It's mostly just a pedigree play. That the dam is all turf, so definitely the surface switch caught my eye.
Definitely. Kendrick aboard. You have to think this horse is going to show some speed early and hope to go on around there. We'll stick with you, Kaylie. We'll go to the number 11, another horse that you have on your ticket.
The number 11, yes. Sorry, my past performances are frozen right now.
Oh, you're good.
Just trying to get my computer to unfreeze. Yes. The number 11, Manny Franco aboard. This one ran well on the turf in the first 2 starts against, higher level than she'll be running in today. Last time out, first off the bench, you saw ran a career best effort, at least on the dirt. So I think switching back to the turf now, going a mile, makes this one a little interesting. And Manny Franco jumps back aboard as well. So I wanted to have that one on my ticket. And then I think I went after that to the 9 here as well. The 9, had a career best effort over the turf. So by Liam's maps really run over everything, and the dam side suggests that the stretch out to the mile distance can move this one up a little bit as well. So I wanted to put this one on my ticket too. Spread a little bit here.
Yeah.
And then
we'll stick with you. Just keep going with the number 7.
And then the number 7, 7-2 on the morning line. So it's one of the shorter prices that I included in here, but I viewed as honestly the horse to beat in here. This one has run really good races. I mean, all 4 of those last starts over the turf, mile and a 16th effort last time out. Those last 2 pretty strong against this group of horses. So this one's going to get to go a mile. I think cutting back a little bit could help this one out, especially coming off the bench. So I wanted to use this one as well. And then I have the 3 as well, which was my top pick in here. The 3 went a mile on the turf off the bench last time out. She was coming back off a layoff. Last turf effort. This horse went a mile. Got some class relief last time out, but over the Tapeta, and I was going to return back to the turf, obviously, where a lot of her best efforts have come over. So I was really just looking at this one's turf races, thinking stacks up nicely against this field.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I know the record shows 0 for 4 at the Aqueduct racetrack, but all of those have come against much better competition. Same with the efforts at Saratoga. She gets some much needed class relief here, and that's why she's my single, another single in this sequence here. Jackson, you also used the 3. Anything to add on this class, or not class dropper, but a horse that's getting class relief on the turf?
Not really. I think you guys covered it. I do view her as the one to beat. I think she's a little bit better than the 7, at least in this race, who's had her chances at this level. She's lost 3 or 4 times and hasn't even hit the board at this level. At least the 3 is unexposed on the turf at this level. So that she's the one to beat. I kind of view this race as a whole. Like, there's a lot of cheap-ish speed in here. Like, not looking at the time for numbers, a lot of them don't really want to finish off these races. So the 3 makes a lot of sense. The 4 is another one I'm going to use at a price who has the upside. Lightly raced 3-year-old, only run a few handful of times, has the highest late pace figures in the field, should get the right setup. So the 4 horse is definitely one I'm going to use as well. That is Miss Spitfire. The one grass race wasn't great, but has come back on the synthetic and run well. So I want to give her a shot. And then Enigmatic is one I think we talked about last week, I want to say, and she scratched when that race came off the turf. Going to give her another chance in here. I do think, they obviously really want to get her to grass. They ran her last time when it came off. Then last week, again, as I said, they scratched her when it came off yet again. She'll be in this race as long as it stays on. The one turf effort came in the debut. It was at Kentucky Downs. She took a lot of money against a really good field, and she ran fine in that spot. And I don't know why they haven't tried the grass with her again in here, but if someone takes this field get to wire, I do think it'll be her. They're going to put her on the lead, and those are the 3 I'm going to use trying to get out of this race.
I like it. Mirage certainly has been aggressive out of the gate, so he sends his runners to the front as well. So that's Jackson's going 3, 4, 5. I'm singling the 3. Kaylie is going 3, 7, 9, 11, and 12. Move on now to race number 9. We're going a mile on the main track. State Bred Maiden, $30,000 claimers. Pick 5 ticket is up on the screen. I again singled to 7. Jackson singled to 7, and Kaylie singled to 7. So we really only have one horse to talk about, and it's the 7 Dark Magic. Kaylie, as our resident Belmont fan, you have to lead us off with your thoughts on the group single of this horse.
Yeah, although I am a Belmont fan, I mean, no one can really argue with the fact that he's really on fire the last couple of months. I mean, especially, if you're looking at just in maiden races over the last 5 months at Naira, he's 8 for 36, 22%. If you look at maiden claiming, I know it's a really small sample size, but he's 3 for 4. So yeah, this one is the single that I'm most confident in here. about. And I think 1 mile on the dirt is exactly what this horse wants to be doing. He's a City of Light. Last time out was brought back for the first time as a 3-year-old, going 7 furlongs, called a sloppy track. And 62 off the bench with room for improvement really towers over the rest of this field.
It does. Came back off the bench, as you mentioned, fired a career best effort first off for Belmont, which he doesn't typically, he typically races them into shape, as we know. But Belmont also with this move on dirt in the NYRA circuits, maiden special weight to maiden claiming. He is 6 for 11. That's 55% with a positive ROI. So this is just a really strong move for him. Couldn't really see a way to get around this horse. Jackson, you couldn't either. Anything to add on this single that all three of us have?
Not really, just going inside to outside with the post draw. That last race was kind of a merry-go-round on the Belmont week. Big class drop, you guys said. I mean, those are some good horses he's been facing. He's not facing anything like that here. So I guess you could view the class drop as a downside, but they only paid $50,000 for him. It's not like this is a $600,000 purchase. Now they're in for $30 after a few good starts. So he's a strong single for me too.
All right, so Jackson, I'll stick with you because we gave you the short end of the stick of talking about this horse. Who is the most likely upsetter if you had to pick one to beat Dark Magic in here?
Well, it'd be the more line favorite, the 9. If he runs back that race 2 back, he'll be tough. He came back and wasn't really close to replicating that, and it wasn't really a major excuse in there. He had a good trip from the outside. And there's other speed in here too. The race 2 back, he was on the lead the whole time. The 1's very quick, as is the 4. So it's still the 9 is the other most likely upsetter, but because they kind of have conflicting styles, I'd kind of be surprised if it's not one or the other.
Me too. They do have those different styles, as you mentioned. So other speed in here. The 9 is the outside speed, but I think the 7 is very well meant in this spot, dropping down into the main claiming ranks for the first time. That was a pretty easy leg to go through as we all singled the 7 one more time for our pick 5 tickets. We'll move on to race number 10. 6 furlong state bred allowance, non-winners of 1 other than company on the grass. I singled the 9. Jackson went 2, 4, 6, 10. And Kaylie also singled the 9. So similar minds for us, Kaylie. Jackson's a little bit different. So Jackson, we're starting with you. The number 2, Second Chances on your ticket.
Yeah, this race is more of a who I don't like rather than who I do like. We can talk about the 9 real quick if you guys want. Anna's call.
Sure, yeah. Why don't you tell us why you don't like the 9, and then Kaylie and I will tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't happen too often. I'd love to see it. This at least just me and you. Look, on paper, I agree. I think she's way the horse to be. I was looking at him like, this is the easiest single of all time. That race kind of came apart. She was on the lead. Then I went back and watched the race, kind of dove deeper into it. And, the horses that were on the lead with her, they were the longest shots on the board. So they came up, so they were finished back there, but they're kind of supposed to finish back there. And they went quick, but it wasn't suicidal. She had things her own way. She was just parked outside of the long shot, was in the clear the whole time, and got run down late. I just didn't love it. I wanted to like it a little bit more than I did. Now she is versatile. She is improving. She's getting lay 6 class drop. All those things are great, but there's other speed in here too. And I didn't really want to just hand this race to her. I don't know. She still has to prove it to me a little bit. So I wanted to try to beat her. I'm not going to argue against anyone that wants to single her though.
Okay. Kaylie, do you have anything to add on why this is your single of the sequence?
Yeah, I think that she just needed a race in that listed stakes, and she's run good enough in stakes company that was a good spot to get her a race off the bench. I think the 81 buyer speed figure she got there towers over really not only any of these horses' recent form, but anything any of them have run in general. First off the bench, like I said, and she caught good turf as well. So now she's going to get firmer turf like she did prior in those 3 starts before she went on the bench, where she was consistently improving in each one and held her own against grade 1 company as well. And seems like 6 furlongs is the exact spot for her. Career best, 2 back, first time getting to try this distance, first time off the bench. Second time off the bench, she's going to take a really big step up. And I also remember in the Take the A Train stakes, I think she was also bumped and a little bit moved around. That could have, taken it out of her a little bit, especially first time off the bench. And I also remember Acacia noting in the paddock that day that she needs that start because she's a really nice filly, and I'm sure they had asked her opinion. She said she needed the start. So I think she happens to be pretty nice, and I think she's going to fire second off the bench.
Me too. I think she's very strong. I think that the fact that Christophe Clement at the time put this filly into the grade 1 right off of a state bred maiden win speaks volumes of what they thought about her. And then continued versus Open Stakes Company in the next time in the I believe that's the Stuart Manor, where she proved that she can pass horses. She's not like a need the lead type by any means. And then last time out probably just needed to start on May 10th and to take the A-Train Stakes. Now second off the bench, gets some I think not much needed class relief, but gets substantial class relief for her, facing state breds for the first time since she blew them out in her maiden victory. And honestly, I could see a horse like this going through those Saratoga state bred turf stakes all through the summer and doing really well, because I think she'd fit really well versus that company. So too many positives, not many negatives that came to mind. So this is my most likely winner in the sequence. Had to single her and just kind of keep it moving.
And it's good to see that she beat, 2 horses in the Take the A-Train that day that came back and won after Warming and the God of Brazil. That God of Brazil horse won a listed stakes after and improved like 12 points. So definitely, running against a pretty good field that day.
Agree. Another great point brought up by you. Jackson, you used the 10 long-legged queen as one of yours as well. Why don't you talk about this one?
And just to finish with the 9 real quick, I do agree. I do think she's the most likely winner of this whole sequence, but she's not going to be even money in pick 5. She's going to be on every single ticket. She's going to play as a 2 to 5 shot in this pick 5 sequence. So if you can beat her, it's going to blow this thing up. The 10 is a race as a horse. Those turf efforts are good. 76, 77 buyers, 102 in the time form. I mean, that's every bit as good as what Anna's call has run up to this point. So I don't see why she can't be right there too. Drawn outside of her. Post is tough. With these connections too, especially, it feels like one that's not going to get used too much in this pick 5. And I don't view her really as that far off of the favorite. So definitely probably my top pick in here. Gonna have to work out a trip from that outside post. Gonna use a few more. I'm also against the second and third choices in here. I don't remember what numbers they are, but they were just a part of the biggest pace collapse you're ever going to see in turf sprint, and took advantage of it.
Yeah, the 3 Perugia and the I believe it's the 8 running Rio. No,
it was a 5.
The 5
Bourbon horse.
Miss Bourbon.
Yes. I mean, just took advantage of the most severe turf sprint collapse you'll ever see. So I want to try to beat those as well. Going to use was it the 2,
4, 6, 10,
4, 6, and 10. Sorry, no, it was the 2, 4. 2, 4,
2, 4, 6, 10.
Yeah. You said no to the 2. Anyway, I did use the 2. We'll start.
You already talked about the 2. Oh no, you didn't. Sorry, talk about the 2.
You throw me off here. Second chance, giving her another chance. The turf sprint effort on the debut was good. Came at Saratoga. She's got a good post here. Obviously, she needs to get better. Kaylie, any thoughts on Belmont? He hasn't lost a race in like 4 months. It feels like. I mean, it's 15-1 in this horse. I had to use somewhere. Got junior riding too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you have a point there for sure. But yeah, I felt really strongly about my single in here. But yeah, I'm gonna try to just keep the tickets skinny and single where I can. Hopefully she goes off even. I don't know, probably not. Just crossing my fingers. But yeah, this one's definitely a little bit interesting as well.
Yes, just one I wanted to use. The debut was good. The stake effort after that was just wide trip, but now it comes back in a good spot.
Especially like noting, Mott obviously first off the bench, but also like his debut runners running so well. He seems like he has all of them, ready to go.
Right.
So.
Right. The 4 is another one I want to use. Capable of passing horses. Got a good post. Improving type before that last effort. Obviously something didn't run her race last time, but before that I like the continued improvement from those turf starts. Keeps improving. 3-year-old's probably supposed to just keep getting a little bit better and getting a little bit better. 15-1, definitely want to use her. And then the last one is the 6, Splash You. Hasn't been on the grass in a long time, but another one whose grass numbers, aren't that far off. Needs to work out a trip, obviously. Not exactly one machine, but has Lizcano, Linda Rice, love these connections. 12-1 is going to play much higher than that in pick 5 as well. So just really trying to beat these favorites in here and blow this thing up.
Yeah, this is where you would separate for sure. Kaylie and I we couldn't get past the even money morning line favorite, who I think is very tough to beat. But Jackson, you zigged when others zagged, so hopefully one of us is right. Hopefully those 2 that are coming out of the major pace collapse don't run back to anything. I don't think they will. That race was, when Linerite won, and Linerite was like 1 for 23 or something, and he finally got the job done. You knew that they had to be, or she rather, you knew that they had to be absolutely flying, and that thing had to melt down like nobody's business in order for that one to get the win. So that's race number 10. One more time with the tickets. Kaylie and I both singled the 9. Jackson went 2, 4, 6, 10. We'll move on now to the last leg of the pick 5. It's race number 11. We're going a mile and a 16th open, maiden $50,000 claimers on the grass. I went with the 6 and 9. Jackson went 2, 3, 9. Kaylie went 3, 6, 11, and 12. Jackson, we're going to start with you. We'll go from the inside out with the 2 Ocean Rain, 20-1 on this one.
Yeah, I actually like this horse quite a bit. I'd invite you to go back and watch the replay of that last race. She had absolutely no chance. All kinds of trouble in the replay line, or in the replay that's not really shown. She actually broke really well. She was going to the front and was just going to get hung so wide on that first turn that they try to take her back. And yeah, maybe you can show it a little bit. She was actually up there on the lead, close to the lead, I should say.
She's the 12.
She's more tactical than the run lines make it seem. I mean, if she was the inside post, she's right there, right? Then he realized he's going to be way hung out there, tries to take back. By the time he gets the back stretch, she's going to be like 8th or 10th. I mean, she just had no chance from that post position.
Yeah.
And then you kind of fast forward towards the back. She gets completely shuffled out of there, kind of towards the park right here. Yeah, right. Yeah. It was tiny a little bit before that, but you get the point. I mean, there was trouble there. I think there's more here than meets the eye. Blinkers going on today. Now she's almost 12. Yeah, I mean, she even loses ground a little bit right here, too. You can kind of see. It wasn't anything substantial, but I think it's noteworthy, especially when you're talking about a 20-1 shot who was going to be on the lead and all of a sudden is in last place going into the far turn. I mean, things just didn't work out for her. I don't love this race. Again, that was only her second career start. Blinkers going on, much better post. She's tactical enough. She could be terrible. Absolutely true, but I've seen enough in that race at 20-1 that I do want to use her on my tickets.
Hey, I'm not going to talk you off a 20-1 shot. This one could certainly improve with the blinkers and good notes with the trip. As this one did encounter a fair bit of trouble. Michelle Nevin, really good numbers with everything that you see here, whether it's the days between the races, just the spacing there. First time blinkers she's strong with. Blinkers in general she's always been good with. So, hey, I'm not going to talk you off of a horse like that. You also used the 3, as did you, Kaylie. Kaylie, I'll let you kick us off here. Belmont, Junior Alvarado, Krikorian team up with Leslie Starr.
Yeah, as Jackson said, I mean, even the 20-1 shots on the morning line here, a lot of them you can make a case for. So you do try to spread a little bit in these races where you can. I think the 3 is one of those horses. I know 8-1 on the morning line, nothing crazy. I think honestly she'll probably be bet down a little bit too. Mott intended for her to be on the turf. He debuted her on the turf. Then tried dirt for the first time off a layoff last time out, facing older and maiden special weight company, and now dropping in class, stretching out on the turf is a very intentional move for Mott. And if you look at the family, this one has a lot of turf pedigree, and some of the siblings' best efforts were routing on the turf as well. So definitely a pedigree play, and looks like this one's being spotted here very intentionally. So
definitely. Jackson, any other thoughts to add on the number 3 Leslie Starr?
No, I just want to give her another shot. She took a lot of money on turf. Kentucky Downs, totally be forgiving of that. Second off the bench, a lot of things to like.
Definitely. We'll move on to the next horse that you guys used, which is going to be, I believe. Oh, we'll talk about the 6. The 6 uncommon, I think, right? I did, yeah. Okay. The 6 uncommon, Miguel Clement, Dylan Davis team up for this one. This is one that I used on my ticket. I think this one comes in here off a bit of a brief freshening, but one that's going to show speed, and there's not a ton of it in here. I thought maybe she had a chance to just get a little bit loose on the lead. I didn't see much other pace in here. Kaylie, you also used the 6. Yes, you did. What did you like about this runner?
Yeah, I thought, this one obviously set the pace last time out against maiden special weight company and kind of just dropped back. That was going a mile and an 1/8. And now this one is cutting back to a mile and a 16th. Is going to catch, firmer turf as well. So another thing that stands out to me. And also, clearly dropping in class as well. And then you can see, in that effort at Tampa, that the winner that day, the horse was facing quality. I mean, the winner won an allowance race next time out, went from a 60 and when, she broke her maiden to a 70 in that allowance next time out. So I think this one is a little bit interesting, even right off the bench. Wanted to have her on my ticket.
Me too. Yeah, I thought this one was certainly interesting, and I thought the Clement stable is heating up right about now. Next one we'll talk about is Jackson. You and I are going to talk about the 9. Candy is Dandy, Lane Leslie. This one also blinkers on. Big angle for you in this race. What'd you like about the 9 here? Oh, all right. We're going to wait for him because he's muted. I assume there's a
scroll down a tiny bit more so we can see the 11 and 9 at the same time. Just because
sure.
I'm looking at the numbers of these two horses and what they've done. Like, I don't know. Aren't they kind of similar? And one's 8-5 and the other is 15-1. I mean, the 11's last race, I went back and watched it. Just like she was parked right in front of the eventual winner and runner-up. I know they came against way-bred horses, but she was beating 10 lengths in that spot. It's not like she was beating 2 lengths and all of a sudden a class dropper and this is a field she's supposed to beat. I mean, she didn't run that great in there. 8-5 is awfully short price for me, I thought, on that horse.
I agree. And I do not think that last race at Saratoga was the strongest race. Curlin's Angel was dead cold on the board, won by, was it like 4 lengths is the listed winning margin. You don't see that a lot in turf routes. And this was a first-time starter. I believe this first-time starter was 5 years old for Jorge Abreu and Dylan Davis. When she won, it just looked like a race where nobody really did any running. They kind of crawled up front. They weren't flying, I should say. And this horse just kind of picked everybody up. That horse, I'm not sure where we'll see Curlin's Angel pop up next, but I do not think this is the strongest race. So I'm against all of the runners coming out of there. And Bourbon Milk Punch at 8-5 was a perfect play against for me. Because Jackson, I agree with everything you said. I don't think she did much of any running, certainly not deserving of being 8-5 in this spot. Versus the 9 lane Candy is Dandy. Bruce Brown, Lane Leslie team up. Love this combo for a get-out race at Belmont at the Big A on the grass. But I know Lane Leslie's maybe a little cold to start the meet. 0 for 43, but has been knocking on the door a few times. And this one lost a lot of chance at the start last time out. The pace pretty much held together. And this one did come, I can't say made a run, but at least the time form indicates that she did some running in there. Gets blinkers on. Hopefully that kind of focuses her up, but that hop at the start kind of jeopardized most of her chances in there. And then I don't think the pace dynamics really were to her liking. But Jackson, do you have anything to add on the number 9, Candy is Dandy?
No, just again, she had trouble. I thought she was running late. She just didn't have any pace to close into, and now she's facing much easier group of horses. 3rd start of the career. Hopefully she breaks a little better because she's had a lot of trouble doing that. 15-1, I think, again, compared to the 9 and 11, I think they're very similar. One is a much bigger price, so I'm going to use both. I'm going to use the 9, not the 11.
Me too. Next one we'll talk about is the 11. Kaylee used the 11 and the 12, so why don't you take us home here and talk about both of these runners you have on your ticket?
Yeah, I think you can try to beat, this horse at 8-5 here, but I'm trying to stay alive in the last leg, so I just used all the horses I viewed as win contenders here. And the 11 is definitely one of those horses. Obviously, I think the horse to beat ran a 64 last time out against Maiden Special Weight Company, and now is dropping in class. So definitely catches your eye. And also, that horse was stretching out for the first time that day. Last time out, Belmont Stakes weekend at Saratoga. We don't really know how those horses, we don't know how those horses have run back since. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that it was, a decent enough field that this horse should be pretty competitive against, this field of horses now. And also gets Lascano aboard. To me, that was also probably the big difference in the price as well. So I think this one has good speed, and I think second time routing could get the job done.
Certainly a likely winner. She handles this class drop, second time routing. But go ahead and talk about the number 12 Virtual. This one's coming off the bench for Terry Bryant.
Yeah, this one is 8-1 on the morning line, coming off the bench, like you said. But her best effort was, going this distance, 3 back, mile and a 16th, and Maiden Special Weight Company. And I think that now coming back here, getting spotted into here, and getting Javier Castellano back aboard as well, who ran the horse in that same race. That was the career best effort. So I definitely think that this one could fire right off the bench, gets blinkers on, first time LASIK. So a lot of things to like, and one I wanted to have on my ticket.
Definitely, yeah. Virtual could certainly take a step up, making her 4-year-old debut after a substantial layoff. Yeah, bred to love the turf, gets first-time LASIK. There's a lot of positives going her way. Only negative, maybe the post draw, but maybe with the blinkers on, maybe she's a little bit sharper, maybe the field's a little bit strung out, and she's able to save a little bit of ground. That is race number 11. That's the last leg of the pick 5. I'll throw the tickets up one more time. As I am going pretty skinny. It's a $2 ticket on a 50-cent base. I'll be playing it up quite a bunch. Jackson has a look of disappointment in his eyes looking at me with my ticket structure, but that is what it is. We'll get past it. Jackson's ticket starts with a single of the 6, then with 3, 4, 5, single to 7, with 2, 4, 6, 10, with 2, 3, 9 for an $18 ticket on a 50-cent base. Kaylie, your ticket is 3, 5, 6, with 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, single of the 7, single of the 9, and then 3, 6, 11, 12 in the final leg. Jackson, anything to add as you are smirking on the camera like Jim from The Office?
No, nothing to add. I thought this weekend was going to be kind of slow with, Belmont's over, Saratoga and Del Mar coming up, kind of the calm before the storm. But I think Saturday there's some good cards out there. So I'm excited for this one. Woodbine has a good one. Churchill has a really good one too. So
and then, yeah.
Hey, Thistledown has the Ohio Derby, baby. So don't count out Thistledown. I'll be covering that on the HHH Racing Network with Howard and who knows who else on Picks and Ponies tonight. So I gotta send all those picks and whatnot over. I think that's where Flavian Pratt's going to be this weekend, as I didn't see him listed here. He might be at Churchill, who knows? But Kaylie, any thoughts on this sequence, or any thoughts as you look forward to the weekend?
Yeah, we have there's the New York Stallion Series Stakes. I'm pretty sure that's the race before this sequence starts. So definitely going to be a fun day of racing on Saturday, and the weather's beautiful. So I'm just so excited about that. Yeah,
I would be excited about nice weather too, except that's all that we get here in Southern California. So
damn. I was going to say, you want nice weather, come out to Del Mar in a couple weeks. I guarantee it'll be 75 and sunny. It'll be great.
Exactly. With a nice coastal breeze. Oh, man. Don't get me started about how excited I am to get back out to Del Mar. It's like Christmas. There's just a countdown on my phone. I'm just counting down the days until we are back.
Yesterday, baby. Let's go.
What'd you say?
Well, it was 1 month from yesterday.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. We're less than 30 days away, and I can't wait to get back out there. It's going to be fun. But before that, we got to look forward to a fun weekend. Got to look forward to a nice pick 5 coming up at Belmont at the Big A this Saturday, June 21st. Those are our tickets. Thanks again to everybody who tuned in to watch. We'll be back next week with another pick 5 sequence, likely from Belmont at the Big A, as we get closer and closer to Saratoga starting. Obviously, the July 4th Racing Festival is kind of going to kick things off at the spa. So, Kaylie, what does your plan look like? When do you get up to Saratoga? And I assume you guys are just up there throughout the entire time.
Yeah, I'm heading up probably on the 1st, and then just going to stay for the whole summer. So I really could not be more excited. Yeah, so excited to get back up there. Obviously love being here and the racing, everything going on in the meantime. But it definitely feels like senioritis a little bit. You know what I mean? The last month just waiting to get to go up. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Without a doubt. Yeah, you have the spa to look forward to. Jackson, you and I have Del Mar to look forward to, as we will be there. I'll be there every racing day. Jackson, who knows how many days you're going to be there. But I hope to see you every Saturday, or else I'm going to give you a hard time.
I'll be there plenty. Don't worry.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Margaritas.
Yeah, there we go. Del Margaritas. I want to see what special drink they have in store for this year, as they kind of always change things up. But before we get too off the rails here, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. The three of us will be back next week, as we always are, with another fun sequence to cover, another analysis of a late pick 5. Kaylie, Jackson, thank you guys as always. Thank you to everybody who was watching. I know I didn't promote this at all, and to be honest, this was supposed to be a recording, and I accidentally went live. But there's 300 of you guys watching, so thanks. We'll catch you next week here on the Gallop Out. Peace.